we're going to talk with Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President Stephen Jones right now. Brought to you by Ford and your North Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, guys.
Man, right before the kickoff yesterday, Jerry said that if the Cowboys could beat the Jets, especially given all the injury concerns, it'd have to be a real team win. Does what you saw yesterday feel like the epitome of a team win?
Absolutely. I think no question, we played complimentary football yesterday. We did, had great improvement on the defensive side of the ball. We got great pressure. We kept Stroud in the pocket, accomplished what our coaches were trying to do. And then, of course, Dak's just playing at an extremely high level, was getting the ball out, helping the offensive line group. It's no secret to anybody. We had, 4 starters that weren't able to play yesterday. And I thought, all the guys stepped up that we needed to step up, from Nate Thomas to Bass, to Hoffman, to Adeniji. They just did a great job. And then you got guys like Flournoy stepping up as well. So it's a good group. All in all, I think we were missing, especially if you count guys like Overshone who are on IR, DTR. I think we were missing 9 starters plus Sanders and a couple others. So it was a great job by the guys to really when you say next man up, they certainly accomplished that yesterday.
And Stephen, we celebrate it too. Like it's a victory. We're excited. We're happy about it. I feel like Shoddy's very grounded too, though. He has his rule. He celebrates, and then he's very grounded in what he does. Do you like that game was that good for you guys, but you also feel like Shoddy would still say we can get better at some things? Not that y'all were sloppy, but we can still be better.
Oh, we can be better. I'm convinced this is a work in progress. I don't think anyone's satisfied, with where we are right now. We know we have to get better in a lot of areas, and feel like that can be done. I mean, this is a new staff. Certainly defensively, as we've talked about, we've had 3 coordinators in 3 years, and but I do know our guys are grinding. They believe, that it's only going to get better from here, and we're getting healthier. I know it didn't look like it yesterday, but we do have, a chance to get most of our guys back over the next couple of weeks.
Now, then, I'm glad that you said that, because just the ones that I was immediately thinking about were Lamb, Tyler Smith. I know he was ready in case of an emergency. Tyler Guyton, Tyler Booker. Are those are some of the people that you think are possible to be back in the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, Turpin. I put Turpin in that group. The guys who might be a little longer are BB and Overshone, but not a lot past the bye. So, this is a team that's getting healthier. Same thing with Hooker. Those 3 are probably the furthest out. I mean, obviously we put Hooker on IR, so he's going to have to miss a minimum of 3 more games. But I do think, the health of this team, the air is up, and the good news is we get to go back and get better this week. We've got a full week to get out and continue to improve. But I think everybody's feeling and seeing it and starting to get a feel for what Coach Eberflus and his staff want out of the defense. And we've got a long ways to go, but we sure made a lot of improvements, especially in the pressure area. And I think we'll continue to improve in our coverage.
Now, you're just talking about the defense, and you already mentioned Shoddy talking pretty consistently about next man up. With that in mind, what have you thought about the performance of Shamar James these past 2 games?
Yeah, he's a young guy who's certainly coming. And, speaking of next man up, you said it, Sanborn went down during the game, and not even counting him, and had to go into concussion protocol. And, I think Shamar had, 14, 15 tackles yesterday.
Yeah, it was 15.
Depends on who's counting them. But, he's just doing a real nice job playing physical. Maris made a huge play on the punch out, which I thought was a game changer. They were on their way to maybe tie us up, and we take the ball and score and then convert another score. And, that was a huge game changer, the play he made. So, the guys are getting a feel for it. We have to continue to get better. I know no one's satisfied with anything around here, and as you said, Coach Schottenheimer setting the tone. He enjoyed the moment, but we're back hard at it.
You talked about that the turnover that was forced when the Jets were marching down to potentially tie the game. The possession right before that, Javonte Williams had a hell of a run to keep the drive going. And, we've talked with you for years, and Lord knows we've questioned plenty of decisions and probably asked you questions you didn't love. But I need to take this moment to admit that I was wrong at running back, and y'all look like you were really spot on in your evaluation of Javonte Williams.
Well, I give credit to our staff, Will and his staff, and our coaching staff of really pinpointing him. I mean, we are huge fans. We're going to see him this week. I think he went for 200, Rico did, but we made a conscious decision to go for Javonte, even though we had a lot of love for Rico. And just felt like Javonte was the right guy for Shotty and his staff. And like I said, my hat's off to Rico, too. What a hell of a game he had. And he'll be a handful for us. I know he'll be motivated to come in here and play great, but he also knows we have a tremendous amount of respect for him.
Just because we're on the position, do you feel like you got enough? You saw enough of Jaden Blue to get a good evaluation after his first game, or is there like, oh yeah, we have to see a lot more from him?
Oh, I think there's a lot more to come from Jaden. I mean, we saw flashes of what he could do. I tell you, he stepped up and made a hell of on a pass protection, made a hell of a block, which we were curious as to how that was going to go. But we can do some things to really get Jaden in space, and I think he's going to make a lot of plays for us. It was great that he got his feet wet, and I know he's going to play a big part of making some big plays for us this year.
I wanted to go back to some of the injury conversation too. How much does Diggs and Bland's health look like it helped this defense's outcome?
No question. I mean, it's a big part of it, and they both hadn't been totally healthy, and when they're not, I think Eberflus's thoughts were to help them out and put them in more zones and cover twos and help them out that way. I think now that they're getting healthy, he understands that they're really do a great job in man as well, and then to be able to mix it up, I think is only going to help us. So I really firmly believe this defense is only going to get better as the year progresses and the guys get more and more dialed in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. They understand the concepts, and like I said, I think they're as up.
The other thing too is I'm interested in how, when y'all interviewed Clayton Adams and Connor Riley and the conversations y'all were having, was it a big drastic change you were expecting out of those? Because this is very impressive work that they're able to do, like you said earlier, with a bunch of injuries, but they've been building this for the entire season with this offensive line.
Absolutely. I mean, those were two huge hires, and Shotty knew it was going to be a big one for him, and we were able to get the pick that he wanted, being that he was the head coach and going to be the coordinator. You could use that, that job title description to be able to get your pick of an offensive line coach. And, he was the guy that, really fit the bill. But one thing we found out about Clayton, or at least I have, is he's a hell of a, he's got a hell of a mind when it comes to coordinating the offense with Shotty. And when you're a head coach, you certainly need that. Certainly Schottenheimer gave it to Mike McCarthy when he was here. But I do think between him and Connor, we have they do a great job. And, you're talking about, the most people at a position on a team. And I think one of the best things Jerry and I have talked about is how, it was we didn't necessarily know we were doing it at the time, but to have two really top-end offensive line coaches helping with the concepts, I think has really paid off for us.
I know the players and the coaching staff will talk a lot about one game at a time, and I certainly understand that. But when you look at, you just beat the Jets, you've already talked about Carolina coming up. This feels like potentially a more advantageous run in the schedule. How important is it, especially in the month of October, that y'all continue to build up momentum and stack up wins if you want to go where we all know y'all want to?
Well, every game's huge, and I'll tell you what, the best way to get really beat in this league is to look past the game. And I can assure you, Carolina, as I mentioned, I know Rico's going to be driven this is going to be a big challenge for us. And that's all we need to focus on, one game at a time. You get the opportunity to go out. We all know how hard it is to win in the NFL, and that's what we have to do. And Coach Schottenheimer certainly walks the walk and talks the talk when it comes to not looking past anybody. And I know the 1,000% focus will be on Carolina.
Stephen, Kevin and I, big Wanye Thomas fans on this show. A, what a cool moment for him and his brother and mother yesterday. But B, also looks like that dude can absolutely play out there.
Yeah, he's just Wanye's always been a top-notch guy for us. He does whatever it takes. He's a great special teams player. Steps up when you need him, like we do now with Hooker. Going to miss a month. And it is that mama has to be proud to have two men playing in the NFL with her two sons, and to have them all out there on the field had to be special for their family, and certainly well deserved on Wanye's part and his brother's part.
I know y'all are focused on winning games, but we've talked a lot about how well Dak has played early this year, and people have started to wildly speculate about MVP and everything like that. Wanted to get your general thoughts on the fact that MVP seems to have really boiled down to which teams have the best record and how did their quarterback do, as opposed to like, what did you actually contribute to the team? What do you think about that MVP like shift to your team's got to be 12-5, 11-6 to even be in the mix?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's a team sport, and at the end of the day, it's all about winning. And I think if you talk to most MVPs in this league, the most important thing to them is winning a football game, not necessarily winning the MVP. And that's a big part of it. And candidly, I don't have a problem with it. And I know Dak's number one goal here is to win a championship, to win a Super Bowl, and I know he knows in order to do that, you got to take one game at a time, chop wood, and win games. And that's what most people in the NFL are in it for, is to try to win the championship. And certainly he leads the way in being that guy. And I'm sure he'd be the first to say if we don't have a good year, then he'd probably say, well, then I shouldn't be considered. But a big reason why we're where we are right now and could be even better is because of his play. And I know he's really leading this team. His play speaks louder than words, and we're just fortunate to have him.
I think I know the answer to this, but just so everybody out there knows, when you say this team could be even better, like you look at this team and this coaching staff and think this can be a playoff team.
I feel like we can be. Absolutely. That's what we're in it for. And I do think this staff has done an outstanding job. I think you don't have to look any further than yesterday to see us. As we said, we've lost Sanborn in the first part of the game. I mean, we're down 10 starters theoretically. And, the coaching staff led by Coach Schottenheimer, or have our guys out there playing winning football. And that's what it's all about. And I know that's how we feel. We feel like, obviously, we've got a lot of room for improvement. We're going to have to play a lot better if we want to get accomplished what we want to accomplish, which is you certainly can't win a championship unless you get in the tournament, as Coach Parcells used to say. But certainly that's our goal. But it all starts with chopping wood one game at a time.
And Stephen, before we let you go, Kevin gave you a great compliment on identifying Javonte Williams. That was phenomenal work there. Kevin was out on the forefront of James Houston. Would you like to compliment him on identifying him as one of on the work he'd do this year?
Jerry told me that's his guy, that he found him. So success has a 1,000 fathers, and certainly we were actually just watching tape in here with Will and my son John Stephen, and we were talking about how we found how we had found James, and Will's been watching him since he was a rookie at Detroit, and I think he said Houston had 8 sacks with about 20% play time.
Wow!
And he's kept his eye on him, and certainly doing a great job for us right now.
And you're right. As we know, failure is always an orphan. Thank you very, very much for jumping on with us. There you go. Congratulations on the win. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, guys.